JJ here. It is Friday, September 25th, 2020. Hope everyone's doing well. Made it to the weekend. It's about 4 o'clock p.m. Pacific time as I'm recording this today on Friday. We're going to do kind of a market update, market weekly wrap-up here. We're going to get into some other news as well. And as always, I'm going to give you my take on the broader economic situation here. But just to take a step back like we do every Friday, what we're seeing here is an economy that's already been destroyed. We're deep in recession. Many would argue that we're in a depression when you see the level of dependency. Now, of course, it's being disguised, it's being masked by all of the stimulus and all the assistance programs. And we've discussed that here many times, so I won't go too much into that. You know what's going on. But I'll say the problem with this continuous propping up of this market, of this system, of the stock market, the housing market, all the loose lending, the endless loans that can be created now by the banks with no reserve requirement. It's only going to further distort markets. It's only going to further separate fundamentals from actual prices, right? And that's a problem. Now, here's a recent article out of Yahoo Finance. Focused on survival. Millions of laid-off Americans still living without health insurance. All right, so let's look at both sides of the argument. You have countries like Canada, they have universal health care, but you can also get private health insurance. Right, so on one side of the argument, you hear, okay, that's great because no one is going to be forced into bankruptcy, no one's going to go without health insurance. Then you have the other side of the argument that a lot of people say, no, that's socialism, that's bad. But when you look at the U.S., we have socialism here, but it's mostly geared towards rescuing corporations and markets, and not towards helping people with their medical bills. You see what I'm saying? So we have socialism here, but it's the worst kind of socialism. It's corporate socialism. It's corporate welfare, as many would call it. So while I don't like seeing people relying on the government for anything, I would rather see people assisted with health care versus corporate welfare. But let's just go ahead and erase both sides of that argument. Let's say there was no intervention, no assistance. That happened, prices would adjust to what people could afford. It's something called supply and demand. So we no longer have basic business fundamentals. We no longer have basic economic fundamentals because of all the assistance programs, because of all of the distortions that are thrown out there from lending, endless debt, big brother intervention. You see, if hospitals didn't have health insurance to pay the bill on their patients, they would have to lower their price. Why? Because without health insurance, most people can't afford even basic medical now, even a basic doctor visit. Most people don't have enough money saved up to go pay out of pocket for a doctor visit. People have to pull out their insurance card just to see the doctor because of the flu or something like that. It's completely outrageous. And there was a report that came out just about a year ago, and it says the average emergency room visit was almost $1,400. That was as of 2017. The article just came out last year, but so it's not gotten better since then, I guarantee you that. So you sprain an ankle, you get a cut, you have to go to the emergency room, you're out of pocket $1,400. That's what many people make in 2 weeks. And then if you have to take time off from work because you're injured, now you've lost time from work, you've lost income, and then you've got that extra expense. And that's why bankruptcy, the number one cause of bankruptcy in the U.S. continues to be medical bills. It became very apparent to me. I had an herniation. I got a lot of pictures. I wouldn't get medical debt. And why are health costs so outrageous? Because of the intervention. So now you've got overinflated healthcare costs because nobody really price comparison shops when they get injured, when they have to go to the hospital. Right? That would be silly, right? Just whip out the insurance card and you don't care what it costs. So that allows hospitals and caregivers and doctors to charge exorbitant prices. But now you're unemployed, you don't have health insurance, you don't have government health insurance either, unless you qualify for some other benefit. Maybe you're retired and maybe you're on disability or some other benefit program. So now millions of people don't have health insurance. So expect to see the life expectancy, we're likely going to see the life expectancy drop. Because now people that have to pay cash that don't have insurance, most of them are not going to be able to pay for basic medical needs and doctor visits. Okay, this is just an example, but we have price distortion all across the economy, wherever you look. Wherever there's easy money lending, wherever you have people throwing money into a pool in order to oil still over $40. Gold coming in at $18.64. Silver a bit of a hit down to $22.99. Now, anyone investing or betting on the stock market to go up now is just betting on the Fed to be there to support the markets. Right? These markets have been fundamentally disconnected from reality for a long, long time, many, many years. Right? So if you're investing in the markets, you're likely just speculating on what the Fed's going to do. You're speculating, you're betting that the Fed's going to be there to support the markets. And that's why you have so many eyes glued on the Fed when they make a speech, when they have a news conference. Right? What do the Fed say? What do the chairman say? Are they going to lower rates? Right? Are they going to do more stimulus, more bailouts? Are they going to purchase more corporate debt? Are they going to buy more ETFs? And now, starting earlier this year, the Fed has been merged with the Treasury, and many people are saying that's even worse. Now you've got politicians with even more control over monetary policy, the direction of interest rates, rescue programs, you name it. We already know recently, too, by listening to the Fed, he came out and said likely no rate increases through 2023. So that should tell you that they're scared. They're scared to raise rates because they know this whole house of cards is just based on debt. And it's a house of cards built on sand. Right? More record low mortgage rates. Earlier this week, rates hit another record low, and they're hovering around near all-time lows. So they're going to keep the housing market inflated, you bet. And all of this propping up again, it's going to have to continue all the forbearance programs, the eviction moratoriums. If it doesn't, if these rescue programs are pulled away, you're going to see a massive, massive devastation. And right now, the devastation is there. It's just being hidden. A recent article here out of Financial Times, the next crisis may be coming soon, right? Nobody really knows, so you always have to throw these words in here. Maybe, likely, possibly. And the senior writers over here at Financial Times, they have to say maybe because they don't know. So, may be coming soon. Fears of a credit crunch have already hit business competency. So it's all about credit. It's all about banks coming to the rescue. And remember, credit, the flip side of credit is debt. So the key to keep this financial crisis away is for businesses, to banks to keep lending, to issue credit, for people to take on debt, to continue the economic illusion. Okay, so the economy, it's a debt-based illusion based on unlimited currency creation, unlimited debt, unlimited market backing. And it's anyone's guess right now. Anyone telling you what's going to happen with these markets is either guessing, guesstimating, let's call it. They're theorizing. They have theories of what's going to happen, but nobody really knows. There are people that are convinced that the Fed is going to push this market all the way into hyperinflation. Unlimited dollar printing, unlimited dollar digitization, whatever you want to call it. Right, so to be safe in these markets, in my opinion, you've got to play both sides. You've got to be ready for both directions. Have assets in case there is that hyperinflation, in case the Fed keeps pushing these markets into the stratosphere, and they're going to push the cost of living up with it. But on the other hand, you have to prepare for some sort of unexpected event. Expect the unexpected. And something that rattles this entire system, like a power outage, a bank failure, who knows, more civil unrest, maybe war, right? Something crazy that no one expects. Expect the unexpected. There could be massive deflation. As soon as something goes wrong, they can say it's a glitch. And then you see deflation, so you're going to want to have some purchasing power in case there's deflation. I'm playing both sides the best I can. That's just my analysis. I'd like to hear from you on this. Let me know what you're doing down in comments. I know we talk about this a lot with preparation and trying to figure out what's going to happen.
Shalom. I want to start out by giving all praise to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Rakadush. Salutation to the elders and apostles of GMS groups and ones alike, teaching 100% truth. Shalom, Barakatham to them. Double honors to the elders and apostles of GMS groups and ones alike, teach 100% truth. Shalom, Barakatham to them. And foremost, give all praise to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Rakadush. That lesson, that video is relating to Bull Boom and Bear Bus video relating to another economical video relating to the debt illusion. So talking about pretty much the system's a debt-based system, you know what I mean? And really we beyond a point where we can pay pay back relating to the country, you know what I mean? Remember, U.S. is a corporation, you know what I mean? So the true wealth behind is these Federal Reserves that inject quantitative easing to keep this pretty much system afloat, man. And that to keep it, it's like that balloon, you know what I mean? That needle is like the quantitative easing to keep the system and the balloon, put air in that balloon, to put air in it so it can blow up. But it's going to go beyond to a point where it's going to continue to put air in there until it ultimately burst. And that's the economy. That's what's going to happen. You know what I mean? Continuous quantitative easing injection into the system. You know, money printed, and eventually it's going to that bubble is going to burst, man. And that's what's happening. You know, it's really, the country is not really rich. It's really rich in debt. You know what I mean? Money that can never pay back. And that being said, I want to do some verses. That's my take on it a little bit. And they were talking about, one of the brothers' video talking about digital dollar. You know what I mean? So the dominance of that U.S. dollar is coming to pretty much an end. And this COVID virus and different things is pretty much to cover up, to mask ultimately the downfall, the dominance of that dollar. You know what I mean? What they would say, pretty much the pre-crash of the dollar. Let's go to Proverbs 13 and 11. Wealth gotten by vanity shall be diminished, but he that gather by labor shall increase. So wealth gotten by deceit, fraud, deception, bloodshed, it's going to diminish. It's going to come to an end. But money that's riches that are worked and labored honorably are going to increase and flourish. The true riches relate to the spiritual money, relates to this word in truth. You know what I mean? This the true, the real knowledge is here, relating to here, this truth and knowledge. Let's go to, I want to go to, back and forth. I want to go to 15 and 16, Proverbs. Better is a little with the fear of the Lord than great treasure and trouble therewith. So it's better to have little or nothing than to have a lot and pretty much where it's going to be trouble and ultimately not going to benefit. You know what I mean? For the poor, rich in faith. You know what I mean? Poor, rich in faith, because they rich in their riches relating to this truth and knowledge. Let's go to let me see. Go to Proverbs 10 and 15. Proverbs 10 and 15. The rich man's wealth is his strong city. The destruction of the poor is their poverty. The destruction of the poor is their poverty. Being poor and being at a destitute, low estate is their poverty. But a rich man's strong city is his money. That's his fortress. That's his form of hedge and protection. But opposite of that, poverty to a rich man is his destruction as well. When he loses that money, he loses that false sense of security, that false sense of hope, that false sense of protection. So for twofold, poverty is destruction to the rich and to the poor. And more to the rich because they're used to a certain lifestyle. They're used to living a custom lifestyle. You know what I mean? So losing that would be their destruction. Let's go to Proverbs, let me see, Proverbs 11 and 4. Let me see if I did 11 and 4 Proverbs. Riches profit not in the day of wrath, but righteousness delivereth from death. Riches profit not in the day of wrath. Your riches, your money, your silver, your gold, your greenbacks, you know, all forms of currency, whether in this country or other countries, are not going to benefit you in the day of wrath. It's not going to protect you from what's to come. When that economical crash happens and all that stuff, your money is not going to mean nothing, man. It's going to be worthless like pretty much the paper is printed on. So it's not going to be any benefit to you. And that's what's going to happen. It's going to be a collapse. So your money, your silver, all that, you can have all the silver and gold you want, but it's not going to protect you from what's to come, especially spiritually. Let's go to I'm going to go to 22 Psalms, 22 Proverbs and 7. The rich ruleth over the poor, and the borrower is a servant to the lender. That's economical, financial bondage, being under the mercy of the ones who have the power, man, the poor. That's the majority of the population. The mom and pops, the blue-collar workers. They the majority, they the backbone really of society. Without them, society would collapse. Just like the small businesses. When they collapse, pretty much everything collapses. Corporations can you know, they have the back and the standing, and plus if they go under, even when they go under, they still fat like a cat anyway. But the little guy, the blue collar workers, when they go down hard. Now go back to that verse. The rich ruleth over the poor. The poor is the majority of the population. The rich is the one who owns and runs the world, man. So you're at the financial mercy of the rich, because they are the ones empowered. They the ones that's given the power. Job 9:24. The earth has been given to the hands of the wicked. So they the ones that are ruling. So you're at the mercy of them. You have to go to for all the basic necessities, food, housing, everything. So you're at the mercy of them, whether financially, whether socially, economically, all the cases. Let's go to I have Psalms 101 and 8. I will early destroy all the wicked of the land, that I may cut off of all wicked doers from the city of the Lord. So pretty much judgment upon the wicked, which is a majority of the population, man. So he's going to destroy the wicked of that city of the land. And that city of the land represents Babylon. Babylon's that city, man. That great, powerful city. Woe to that city, man. In 1 hour, thou judgment come, relating to Revelations 18 and 10. So, financially, economically, like I said, trusting in your treasures will be foolish, man. Let me go to James real quick. Let me see. We read a few. Go to now, ye rich men, weep and howl for your misery that shall come upon you. Pretty much a judgment upon the rich. Your riches are corrupt, and your garments are moth-eaten. Your gold and silver be cankered, and the rust of them that shall be a witness against you shall eat your flesh as it were fire. And ye have heaped treasures together for the last days. And that's what the rich, they heap treasures in the last time. The money they accumulate and all that, it's not going to benefit them. It's not going to benefit them. It's not going to be in their interest, man. Because ultimately, that paper is going to be worthless. It's not worth the paper that's printed on. So your money's not going to save you, man. It's a warning to the rich. Your money is not going to save you. You can hide and you can fly up in space. You can go underground and do all these things, but your money is not going to save you when you need it to. Behold, the hire of the laborers who have reaped down your fields, which is of you who kept back by fraud, crieth and cries of them which ye have reaped are entering the ears of the Lord Sabaoth. Ye have lived in pleasure of the earth, and have been wanted, and ye have nourished your hearts in the day of slaughter, and ye have condemned and killed the just, which are the righteous, and he doth not resist you. So all these things that you acquire by using certain people, exploiting certain people, even hurting them in bloodshed among these people to increase your revenue and riches, man. So the Lord hears these, the ones who are crying to the Lord Yahweh B'Shem Yashah. And ultimately, things are happening. And because these crimes that they have done, ultimately the Lord is going to make them pay for that. You know what I mean? So it's a warning to the rich. You know what I mean? Because you lived deliciously. You lived in pleasure, man. Because the power has been given into your hands, and the Lord allowed you, because it's your time and season to rule. But now things are changing, you know what I mean? Things are changing. And that being said, this was just something short. I hope it helped. Whoever listened, give all praise to Yahweh B'Shem Yahshua B'Shem Rock Adish. The water shall want. Thanks.